I'm going to be doing some stamping today. I've got some scenery ones and some trees, some bushes, these cute little birds, love those, some wildflowers, and I've got a selection of moulds here that are ideal for pendants, keychains, earrings. I've got some black stays on ink, some acrylic blocks to put the stamps on, and a watercolour set to paint them once they're demolded. So I'm going to start off by using some magic pour and get some of that into these moulds. So I'll just get some mixed up and then we can start pouring. So the magic pour is mixed to a ratio of 3 to 1 by weight. So for example, 300 grams powder to 100 grams water. But because I'm just going to be making small amounts today, I'm just going to eyeball it. Once you start using these eco powders, you do get a good idea of what the consistency should be like. So I'm just going to add some of the powder to the water and then get that mixed in. I want it to be like a nice creamy sort of batter-like consistency. So I'll just get this mixed and then I'll be back to pour. This is all ready to pour now, so I'm just going to put it in some of these moulds. I'm just going to let's do the big ones first. Right, now we can start doing some of the smaller ones. Try not to overfill them so I lose the holes. Let's do that shape there. And right, we'll do that one now because I've just blobbed a bit in there. A couple of these little diamond ones, because I think I want to do maybe some pendants and some earrings. What else? These two little ones here. And maybe that one and that one. Got a little bit left, so let's just pop that into that one there. Right, I think that's it. So I might make up a bit more off camera and just fill some of the rest up, but I'll just be doing the same thing as what I've done, so you don't need to see that. So I'll see you in a little while when they're ready to demold. These have all cured up now, and I did save you the demolding because they're only like, oopsie daisies, they're only white blanks at the moment. So we need to change that. And I'm going to be using the Let's Resin alcohol ink. This is the 26-piece set. So let's get a couple of these. Let's push some of these out the way. Let's do these ones first. I've picked out the blue and the emerald green, and I think we're going to start off with the blue. And I've also got some 99% alcohol in there. So I'm just going to squirt a bit in there and drop 1 drop of the ink in there. Give that a swish around. And I'm just going to use a cotton bud and just stain that blue onto the top there. And then that would just seep into the magic pour. And then I think I'll just add another drop of the blue and then just do some different shades of blue in there, and then just blend that in there. And then for the bottom half, same again, I'm just going to spray some alcohol in there and then add a drop of the green. then just do some green on the bottom there. I just want to create a bit of a subtle background to put the stamps on. Just layering up some of that green, so it's a bit darker at the top. And then I'm going to do the same again with the little ones. And then the blue up the top there. So that's those ones done. Next I think we'll do the oval ones, and I think I want to do like a little sunsetty type of thing with this. So I'm going to start with the, let's start with the yellow. Just put a drop of that into there, and then just place that sort of in the middle, and then the same with the two little ones. And then I'm going to use the orange, and I'm just going to put that straight in with the yellow, and then we go round the outside with the orange. Do that on both of them. And then the red, let's pop a bit of the red into there, and then I can use the same tip. I'm just going to go round the outside with the red. I think that needs to be a bit deeper. Put another blob in there. Just deepen that up a bit. That's better. Let's just do the same to this one. And the same again with that one. And then I'm going to go back in with the yellow. I think I'll use this one neat this time. And just deepen that colour in the middle there. Pop another drop in. And then maybe just add some extra little bits of the deeper red going through there. I think that looks quite nice. Right, so that's our sunsetty ones done. So with the next one, I think we use this shape. I think I want to do like a water down the bottom with a sunset up the top. So I'll just pop you on a quick fast forward while I'm doing this one. So we've got 3 different ones there. We've got just a plain sunset. We've got a bit of a green and sky going on, and a little water and sunset beach going on there. Well, not beach, there's no beach. So I'm just going to let those dry off for a bit, and then we can move on to some stamping. So with this one, I think I'm going to use this sort of bulrushy stamp. Just going to pop that on there. Might help if I put it on a bit straighter, and then just cover that in the stays on, and then right, let's put it to one side maybe. So stamp that down onto there, Push it down nice and firmly. Lift it off. Ooh, pretty. And then let's use what ink we've got on there and do a bit on here. So what should we use? That corner there maybe. Put those on there. Off you get. And then we'll do the same again with the other one. There we go. Sorry about my demanding little husky there. I'm going to use these little birds at the top here. Pop those onto there. And then stamp those up. And then I'm going to put some little birdies flying through the bulrushes. Put those there. So that's that one. And then same again with these two. Let's just use that one there, I think. So pop that one there. So we've just got a little bird flying through there. And then this one, let's have maybe those three there. So pop that there. There we go. So then that's that one there. So that's those three all done. That one, oops. And then those two little ones. So let's pop those to one side. And I think let's do this one next. So I think we'll use this one and pop that one on there. And then ink that one up. So we've got those pretty flowers there in the meadow. So just making sure I get that at the bottom. And place that down onto there. Give it a little rock. So then that's that one. And then we'll just use this smaller image of the flowers for the two smaller ones. So again, ink that up. Let's do those there. They're quite pretty, aren't they? So that one there. Make sure I've got it all the way around. Oh, I like that. That's lovely. Right, and then let's use this inked up side, the other side. And give that a little squish on there. Oh, I do like those. So that's those ones. And I'll be doing a UV coat over the top of these afterwards to seal it all in. Let's have a look. I think I'll do a tree on this one. Okay, so let's stamp this one up. And then I'm going to place this, think about there possibly. And then push that down, give it a little wiggle. Lift that one up. Oh yes, I like that. Let's do that there, I think. Give that a little squish. Yep, that looks okay. Right, I need to do that again on the other one. So same with that one there. Yes, oh, that one's quite nice. Let's use that one. And then that can be flying off the tree. Right, so let's ink that one up. And then put him there. Ooh, Lovely, liking that. I've got a fine liner black pen, so maybe I could just do a couple of like your typical little birdie shape sort of things on there. So should we do a couple? Let's do another one over there, there, and then same again on that side. Right, so that's those three all done. So we've got that one, and that one. I forgot I've got these lovely bird ones, so I think I'm going to use this one here. Let's pop him on to there and then stamp him up, and we'll just do him on a plain white one. Let's put him like that, I think. Give that a little squish and a wiggle. Ah, he's cute, isn't he? Let's do this one here. Pop that on there and ink up that side of the stamp there. And I think I'm just going to use this little chap here and just do him a bit offset. Oh yes, I like him. Lovely. Right, let's do that same again with this one. So we'll pop that one out there. And then there's our little birdies. Right, so we'll wait for this ink to dry and then we'll colour him in with the water paints. So while I'm waiting for the birds to dry, I'm just going to take a black, what is this, a Posca pen, and I'm just going to go all around the outside of this white area and just give that a good edge with the black. And then I'm going to go around and frame the whole thing, just using a corner of that pen there. And then that will seal in when we come to giving it a top coat with some UV. So I'm going to do that to all the others and then I'll be back in a minute. I've been round the edges of all of these now, so they're all done. So next I'm going to use this watercolour paint set to do the birds, and I think I'm going to do them blue and purple, I think, but let's start with the little beaks. I don't have a yellow, so it'll have to be this lime greeny colour. So just going to paint the little beaks in, and then going to do a mixture of blues and purple for the main part of the birdie. So we're just going to colour them in, and let's do his chest bit in the purple. Give him blue tail, and then same with these ones up here. Do that bit. Do that bit blue and down across there. And his little tail. And then I'm going to use the purple and go in with the wings and around his little chest area there, and then just blend that in Maybe put a bit of hint of purple in other places. Bit down there. And then the same with these little chappies at the top here. Colour those bits in. And there. And then the let's do the branch this colour. So I'm going to go in with that along there, and same on that one. And then I've got this green here that I can use for the leaves. Cute little birdies. Oh, that one don't have any leaves. Right, and his little feet. What colour shall we do his feet? Let's just do his feet purple. So give him some little purple tutsis there. That one there. Oh, I missed a leaf there. And let's just do that last little leaf. There we go. So that's that one. They got a nice shimmer to them, those paints as well, are they? Yeah, they are metallics. And then there's those two there. Right, so I'm just going to leave these to dry now, and then I'll be back and we can give these a top coat of UV resin. These are all dry now and ready for the top coats. So I'm going to be using Let's Resin UV clear hard type resin, and I'm just going to put a blob on the top of our little birdie here, and then use my dotting tool. I've got loads of UV stuck on that, and then just flick that over the edges, just taking a bit more time going around that hole there. And I found that if you just flick it over the edge, it bounces back and just stays there, as long as you haven't overdone the amount of UV that you've put on there. So that's that one, and I'm just going to give that a quick torch and then give that a cure under the lamp, and I'm using the Let's Resin lamp. So I'm going to start off just by holding it quite high up just for a few seconds, and then I'll lower it down and let that cure for 2 minutes. So that's that one all done, looking lovely. So I'll just quickly do these other two little ones on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So same again, just put in a line of resin down the middle there, and then taking that to the edges, just taking it carefully around that little hole, just so as it doesn't fill that in, flicking it off to the edges, and then same with the other one, same again with this one, and then pop that under the lamp for another 2 minutes, and then that'll be the birdies done. And then I'll do the others off camera, and then I'll come back and then we can put all the little jewellery findings on. So same again, starting from up high just for a few seconds, and then I'll layer it down for the 2 minutes. These are all cured now and looking lovely. Lovely shine on those. So that's that one, that's that one, and we've got our little birdie there and our other little bird there. So let's start putting these together, and I think I'm going to do 2 gold and 2 silver. So let's get some large jump rings out, and I'm going to open that up just by twisting it towards me, and then popping that through there. And then I've got these little bail things, so that can go on there. And then I'm going to close that one back up. Let's get in there, and then just take it the other way to close it. So that's that one. And then I'm just going to pop a silver chain through that one. And while I'm doing this, I just will mention that this video is part of the Saturday Express train, which is organised by myself and Susie from Serendipity Resin Creations, Tina from Pour Resin with Love, and Amy from Resonating Art by Amy. And once a month we do a themed Saturday, and the next one's Wizard of Oz, and that's on Saturday the 13th of September. So you've still got time to join if you'd like to. Right, so next I'm going to do the earrings. So same again, twist that open, pop that through there, and then with the top of the earring I'm going to twist that round so it's facing the other direction, so it hangs that way, and then pop that through there, and then close that one back up. So again, just taking it back in the other direction, give it a little twist, and then that's our earring, and that will sit the right way in your ear with that bit twisted around the other way. So I'll just put the rest of these together, and then I'll be back when they're all ready to show you. These are all finished now, so we've got our 2 pairs of silver, 2 pairs of gold. So there's our birdie ones, and our little water scenery ones, lovely, and those ones there, very pretty. And personally I like weighted jewellery, so to have this magic pour as like the base for these, I think it's really lovely. It gives them a feel of quality, if that makes sense. So that's all my sets done today. Nice and easy today, nice easy make, but very relaxing. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and stay tuned for pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.